So this was the poster that I was inspired by from the film Bridesmaids. Instead of making my poster portrait, I decided to go with a landscape poster. This was so all the characters would fit on the page and I'd be able to spread them out in a way that looks fun and neat and not so squished, because otherwise it doesn't give the same effect. Also, it allowed the name to be spread all across the page instead of having to be shrunk down. I went through the same process as I had with my draft. I still wanted to go around the characters individually, and I still wanted the same pictures I'd used for my draft. I decided to go around them again and just make them neat and basically just perfect every single bit of them, so there's not a bit that's out of place, there's not a bit where either the body, you see the background, that everything is in place. I wanted the two main characters in the middle of the photo, and then I wanted the boys and the girls behind. I still wanted to separate the boys from the girls, just so there's a clear image of the two parties. I then had all the characters in the sort of poses that linked with the film. This was so when the audience see the poster, they already get a gist on the sort of types of characters that are going to be in the film. For example, they'll be wondering why my character is holding the legs and why Jess, who is in the black top, is nearly falling over, because it actually represents the film itself, but however the audience don't know it, so they'll be intrigued to watch the film to find out why they've been placed in those sort of poses. I also practiced with writing the names at the top. I started with writing all of the characters' names, but I was kind of finding that when I was doing it, because some of their names, the last names were longer, it didn't really fit around the page and it did look quite messy. So instead of having all of the characters' names on it, I decided to put just the main character, which was me, and James Scholl, who played Matt. So I played around with just having the two names, but I also found that when doing this that it looked quite bare, the whole page looked bare, and also because of the title, they didn't look like they were in the middle and they kind of just looked out of place. It didn't match the poster itself. So I then decided to add in two other characters' names, Emily, who played Lucy, and Connor, who played Connor. This fitted perfectly with the poster because now there were four names. It meant that the poster didn't look too bare, but it also meant that it didn't look too busy when all the names were there. Instead, there was just enough to sort of fill the page. I also wanted to look around on the font. This gave me a different type of, fonts to use on the poster, so it wasn't basic, and so when typing it was more professional, and you could see it was a more professional poster. So I'm still going on with the theme of red. I'm using it for the billing block and for the names. I also wanted to put a rectangle at the bottom, just as the film I'm being inspired by, and I put a funny little quote at the end saying invited, to link with the film itself, how it's a party, so the audience have something to sort of laugh about when they see the poster.